Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since you last saw me, but I'm back, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be adding a root onto this blonde wig that I made over the weekend. So today I'm going to be using the colors 855 and 663 in Schwarzkopf, and I'm going to be using that with 6% on the roots, and then through the ends what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using a chunky highlighting pattern method, and I will be using a 913 mixed in with the remainder of the color, just so that I can get a softer result with just a little bit of extra depth to it. So without further ado, let's begin. So as you can see, I'm applying the hair color on the roots in 4 quadrants, and as I'm working through the back, I'm lifting each section up and making sure that I apply color on top and below. I only do this for the back because I just want to have like a nice clean result with even coverage, but I also know that I want the roots to be just a little bit further stretched as I'm going down the bottom, because I just want to create the illusion of more of a shadow and more depth. Okay, so for the front 2 sections, instead of going horizontally, I'm going vertically. This is so that I can push more color going backwards, but then also at the front I'm making sure that I'm not applying as dense amount of color, but as the color sits on top of each other, it's going to overlap slightly, and it's just going to create the shadow going backwards but not in the front, as I want to keep that a little bit brighter. So I'm just going to finish that up, and then I'll move on to the highlights. So as you can see, I'm adding the 913 in. This is just to brighten up the root color, but also to darken down the 913. And I'm taking each section and I'm combing it down, because the cleaner your section, the better it is. And in quite large sections, I'm taking quite chunky weaves, and it's the reverse weave which I'm coloring, as I want it to have just a little bit of depth, but I still want to keep the original color for the highlights. So I weave, and then I pull the color through. As you can see, I'm wiping my hands just to make sure that I'm not transferring that color through. But again, because this is such a light color, it doesn't really matter so much if it does touch some of the other blonde, because it's just gonna slightly tone it. But I am also trying to make sure that that's not the case. So again, on the other side, I'll just show you, I'm just doing quite chunky weaves, and I'm coloring the under weave rather than the actual weave, because I want the original weave to be the highlight, so then it just has a bit more brightness. And then I'm going to move on to the back. So here is the final result after coloring it. As you can see, the root has like a lovely dark stain on it. And then what I'll do is I'll put it on so that you can see the highlights are very subtle, but they're in there, and they just add just a little bit of extra dimension. And here's me trying it on. Have a look. You see there's highlights in there, but they're very soft. There's nothing too standout-ish, nothing too aggressive. Don't I look great in this wig though? Nah, this bob is giving me life. Do you know what I mean? Look at the roots, but the roots, and look at the highlights. Nah, you know you're gagged. Anyways, join me for the next one. One more thing before I forget, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and more tutorials will be coming up soon. Thanks guys.